Sadashiva Samarambham Śaṅkarāchārya Madhyamam Asmadāchārya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Tapobhihi Kshina Papanam Shantanam Vitaraginam Mumukshunam Apekshyoyam Atmabodho Vidhiyate. We were doing the 17th, and we finished with the 17th shloka. Sada sarvagatopyatma na sarvatra avabhasate buddhau eva avabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. So Atma yadyapi sarvagataha, even though this Atma sada is always present everywhere, sarvagataha, sarvatra avabhasate, sarvatra avabhasate, it is sarvatra na avabhasate. It is not showing itself or revealing itself everywhere. Because of the recipients, there are certain impurities that are there in the place where it is being reflected. So, yatra malinatadi nasti tatraiva avabhasate. So, sarvatra na avabhasate. Even though we say that Atma is ever present everywhere, it is sarvabhyapi, all of that, but still, why is it that a lot of people are unable to experience it, unable to realize the presence of that Atma? It can only be realized in a buddhi which is swachha, which is very clean. So, buddhau eva avabhaseta swacheshu pratibimbavat. Buddhau eva, you take it, swacheshu pratibimbavat, just as how a chaya or a reflection is clearly seen only in an object which is very clean. In the same manner, only in a buddhi is it able to, and you take this swachha as an adjective to the buddhi also, swachhayam buddho iti, in singular also. So ragadveshadi dosha rahitayam buddho eva, in a buddhi which is devoid of ragadvesha, that is where the Atma is capable of revealing itself. Okay. Now the next one is Purvokta Panchakosha Vilakshanatvam eva idani mukhataha sphutīkuruvan Atmanaha sarvasakshitvam pratipadayati. He says there are 5 koshas which are like a limiting adjuncts to the Atma. So they are the Upadhibhuta for the Atma. So but this Atma is different from the Panchakosha. Purvokta Panchakosha Vilakshanatvam. It is different from the 5 koshas that we have described before. Even though we have said it before, Idani Mukhataha Sphutīkuruvan, he is saying, it is different from the 5 koshas, but now he says that the Atma is a sakshi for all of those 5 koshas. The activities that go on in the 5 koshas. The Atma becomes the sakshi for everything. Dehendriya manobuddhi prakritibhyo vilakshanam tadvritti sakshinam vidyat atmanam rajavat sada. So Atma is like a king. The king is a sakshi for everything that happens in his kingdom, but he doesn't get down to do any of those activities. He decentralizes, he appoints people to do each of those works, and he just remains in his simhasana, in his throne, and ensures he's just a sakshi. He's only a witness. He ensures that everything runs properly. Doesn't mean that he goes there and checks at every point. Tatha, he doesn't have to do all that. Those ministers who are appointed will keep continuing to do their work whether the king is present or not. The king is just a sakshi. He is a witness there in the presence of the king. As the king as the witness, people function, right? In the same way, here also as the Atma as the witness, the body functions. So, deha, indriya, mano, buddhi, prakritibhyaha, vilakshanam, atmanam. This Atma which is different from all of these. We look at each one of those in the Vyakhyana. Tadvritti sakshinam, but it is also the witness to the vritti, that is the actions that are performed by all of these. Tadvrittinam, prakrityadi vyaparanam, sakshi. How do you understand this Atma? Vidyat Rajavat, like a king. So Deha, here Deha Indriya Mano Buddhi Prakritibhyaha Vilakshanam. How is it different from what all is it different? Dehat Vilakshanam. So Deha here is Annamaya Koshaha, Annamayatmakaha Deha. Tasmad Vilakshanam Atma. Okay. Indriyani, Shrotradini, Vagadini. Indriya can be Karmendriya and Jnanendriya. Shrotradini are Jnanendriyas. Shrotram, Tvak, Chakshuhu, Rasana, Granam. Vagindriyas are Karmendriyas. Vakpani, Padapayu, Upastha. These are the 5 Karmendriyas that we know. So, Indriya Padam, Prananamapi Upalakshanam, Pancha Pranaha, because Prana is not mentioned here. He says Indriya is an Upalakshanam. It indicates both the Prana also. So it is a Pranamaya Kosha that is being mentioned here. The Deha is Annamaya Kosha. For Pranamaya Kosha, he does not mention Prana in the Shlokam, but we take Indriya as the indicating factor for Pancha Jnanendriya, Pancha Karmendriya and Pancha Prana, which constitute the Pranamaya Kosha. Yeah. Next is Mano Buddhi. Manomaya Kosha. Buddhi is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Prakriti is the Anandamaya Kosha. So all 5 koshas are actually mentioned here. Deha, Indriya, Manaha, Buddhi, Prakriti-bhyaha Vilakshanam. So it is different from the 5 koshas. What is Manas and Buddhi? Saptadasha Tattvatmaka Sukshma Dehaha Pranamayadi Koshatrayatmakaha. So the way some people look at it is not Pancha Kosha, but Koshatrayam. Right? So Pranamayadi Kosha ityukte Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha and Manomaya Kosha. All 3 are taken as the Sthula body. Sukshma. So Annamaya Kosha is the Sthula body. Pranamaya, Manomaya and Vijnanamaya becomes the Sukshma body. And your Sushupti, that is a Sthula, Sukshma and the Karanam. Karana Shariram is your Anandamaya Kosha. So they collapse the 5 koshas into 3 states also, which is the gross body, subtle body and the causal body. Correct? So the 5 koshas can be done in this manner. That's why he takes Pranamayadi Kosha Trayatmakaha Manobuddhihi iti. So either you can you separate the Deha separately and then take Indriya, Manas and Buddhi to be the Sukshma Shariram, which is Saptadasha Tattvatmakam. It has 17 factors which are put together. That is 5 Jnanendriya, 5 Karmendriya, 5 Pranans, which is 5 3s are 15, plus Manas and Buddhi 17. So this is one potlam that we talk about. A package. This is the package deal of Sukshma Sharira. Next is Prakriti. The final kosham is Prakriti. Prakriti hi Anadi Avidya Karana Shariram Anandamayatmakancha. So this last kosha is Anandamaya because it is the closest that you can get to Atma Jnanam or Atmananda, where there is just the I factor that is there. You don't think about Manas, Buddhi, Indriya, Deham, etc. But you are only thinking about I am experiencing Anandam. So there is just that, Prakriti alone, which is Anadi Avidya Karana Shariram. That Shariram or that sheath which covers the Atma is made up of Anadi Avidya. It has Avidya with it, and that Avidya is Anadi. It has there is no beginning to this Avidya. It is the Karana Shariram in the sense that it is the Karanam, it is the Hetu for everything that is created with respect to this Atma. Whatever we want and however the Atma tries to work or function in this world, it is that thin sheet of Anandamaya Kosha which creates all of this for us. So that we'll have to try to get in touch with that Ananda, right? Neti neti iti. We have to remove all of those things and try to get to that, which is probably the closest that we can get to. So, iti panchakoshatmikaha, these are the 5 koshas, 5 coverings that we have. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakritayaha. Samashti vyashti rupaha. They can either be with respect to one individual or it can be on a macro level where we think of the entire Brahmandam as Vishwarupam and all that. So, the Brahmandam itself is the Sthula Rupa of Ishvara. Then you go into the subtle format when he was inside the Andam, which became the Brahmanda, right? Hiranyagarbha Rupam. Before the creation, Ishvara was present in the form of Hiranyagarbha. So that becomes the Sukshma Shariram for Bhagavan. Before that Andam was created, there was only Brahman with the Maya. that is the Karanam for the entire Jagat. Because he had already thought about creating this Jagat, so he took on Maya with him. At that point, it was the Karana Shariram for the macro level, which is Samashti. Vyashti is with respect to the individual. Yeah. Next, Vilakshanam. Tebhyaha Vilakshanam. Now, the Atma is different from all of these 5 types or 3 Shariras. Prithakbhutam Sada Trishu Kaleshu Sarvasu Avasthasu Api. There is a Sada here in the Sloka. He takes that Sada here. Sada Tadvritti Sakshinam. Even though it is different from all of these 5 koshas, at all times, this Atma is a witness. It is a Sakshi Bhuta for all of the Vritti. What are the Vrittis that we are talking about here? Tadvrittinam. Ukta Prakrityadi Vyaparanam. Deham, the body keeps doing some work. The Indriyas does some work. Manas keeps thinking. Buddhi keeps analyzing. Something or the other keeps on going in this Maya, Prakriti and other koshas. The Atma just stands there and looks at all of these activities. Okay. So, Tadvritti Sakshinam Atmanam. That's why we have these koshas, and then there are activities that are performed by all of these koshas. What does the Atma do? It is a mere Sakshi for all of these vrittis. So, Tadvrittinam. Ukta ityukte prathama pade pratamardhe ukta prakrityadi vyaparanam. So whatever prakriti that we have said in the first line, all of those have some vyapara or the other associated with them because it is Maya Swarupa. So Maya in the form of Deha has an activity. In the form of Indriya, it has an activity. So for all of these activities, Tadvrittinam, Sakshi, Upadrashta. Upadrashta is just a mere onlooker. Upa samipe vartate. So he is just an Upadrashta. He is present very close to that Maya, being confined by that Maya, and he just looks on as an onlooker. That's all. Okay. Or yadva tesham prakrityadinam vrittinam tadvyaparanam cha sakshi sakshad ikshate. Directly he perceives all of that, or he is just a samipastha, he is just a tatastha, he is a neutral person. You can take that sakshi as 2 meanings with just very subtle meaning differences. That's all. The first way he takes sakshi as upadrashta, upa samipe vartamanaha sanna pashyati. One who is standing nearby to all of those 5 koshas, and he is seeing as an onlooker. Here, Sakshad Ikshate is, he is directly looking at each of those departments and looking at what they are all doing. So either the king can stand in his simhasana and he can just view on a macro level, like a bird which is viewing what is happening in the city, or it can be like a bird which flies down to each and every house and looks at what is happening. That's the difference between Upadrashta and Sakshad Ikshate. Okay. Either way, the fact that the Atma is a witness does not change. Correct. So, tam Atmanam aham pratyaya aspadam kutastha asanga chidrupam swam rajavat. What is this Atma? Kutastha nityam. Asangaha, it does not connect with any of those vyaparas. Chidrupam, it is the Chaitanya Rupam, because with its presence only all of these things can work. Without that consciousness Chaitanyam, all of these cannot work. So it is Chidrupam. Swam ityukte, that which is the Antaryami in the body, yourself. Atma is your own self. That's what he's saying by Swam Atmanam iti. Rajavat, you will have to look at him as a Raja. Look at the Atma as a Raja. Pradhanadi Vyapara Sakshinam. Pradhana here is Amatya, like a minister. He, just as how a king overlooks the work of a minister, Rajanam Iva, like a king, Sada Vidyat, you understand him in that manner. You understand the Atma Swarupa in this manner. Etena Dehadinam. So this is our conclusion that the Vyakhyata gives, right? So, etena dehadinam anatmatvat, because this deha, etc., is anatma, it is not atma, it is jada, it is a transformation or a parinama of avidya. It is a transformation of all the maya. So, dehadinam anatmatvat. Atmanaha tad vilakshanatvat, because it is jada and it is not atma, it is different from atma. Correct? That's why he says vilakshanam. So vilakshanatvat, because of the fact that it is different from deha, etc. And because deha, etc. is anatma, asangatvat, since there can be no connection between the two of them. Because it is not affected by any of these things. Asangatvat, there is no connection between deha and atma. Sarvasakshitvat, this atma is the sakshi or the witness for everything. Nishkriyatvat, there is no activity in atma. All of the activity resides in, starting from prakriti. All of the activity resides in deha, indriya, manas, buddhi and prakriti. Nothing resides in atma. So nishkriyatvat atmanaha. Dehadi anatma tadatmyam aseshataha tyaktva. So we have to understand this superimposition with the deha, indriya, etc. I am looking good. I am walking. I am thinking. I am analyzing. Ityadikam tu tyaktva. There is a tadatmyam. Tadatmyam is you are superimposing the qualities or the activities of the deha, etc. onto the atma and saying, I am doing all of these things. Tat tyaktva. You will have to let go of that thought and say, this body is doing this. It's very difficult to say that. People will think we are mad, but it should at least be in the realization level that, yes, it is the body that is doing. That is the ultimate stage that we want to achieve. So Atmanam, we think of the Atma as Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, Swabhavam. Those are all, we know, we have seen those meanings, right? Before. Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, pure, without any maya sambandha. Buddham, ever awake. It never goes into the maya. It does not get deluded by maya. Mukta, it is always liberated. Nobody ties down the atma. We just have to understand it. Tadrisha swabhavam, atmanam. Akhanda ananda eka rasam. Akhandam, it is a partless entity and one. Eka rasam. Advitiyam, there is no two objects like atma. Anavaratam anusandadhyat. We have to anusandadhati. You'll have to keep on repeating this sort of like a mantra. You have to keep repeating this continuously in your mind. Only because of that anusandhanam, we can actually get to that realization. Okay. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakritibhyaha vilakshanam tadvritti sakshinam vidhyat atmanam rajavat sada. So very beautifully the shloka gives you why we are bound. How do we get ourselves unbound from this? How do we have to think about the Atma? In what manner do we have to think about the Atma for us to get unbound from all of this? Right? One capsule shloka here. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakritibhyo vilakshanam tadvritti sakshinam vidyat atmanam rajavat sada. The next one, maybe we'll take a break if you're okay. I think we'll stop with this. The other needs a little bit more of explanation.